The fastest ever spacecraft is midway through its journey to unlock some of the most intriguing mysteries surrounding the Sun. The Parker Solar Probe was launched on August 12, 2018 for a 7-year voyage around the solar system, one that will eventually take it within 3.8 million miles of the Sun's surface. This figure might seem too big, but it is actually astonishingly close to the Sun. For reference, imagine we placed Earth and the Sun on opposite ends of a football field. In its closest point, the Parker Solar Probe will come within 4 yards of the Sun's end zone. That is 10 times closer than Mercury's distance to the Sun. It was launched aboard one of the most powerful rockets in the world, the Delta IX Heavy. Considering that the solar probe itself weighs just 1,400 pounds, the use of the Delta IX rocket may seem like overkill. But since it takes 55 times more energy to reach the Sun than it takes to reach Mars, a rocket this powerful is the minimum requirement. The Parker Solar Probe is named after Dr. Eugene Parker, the first person to predict the existence of the solar wind more than 60 years ago. Today, we know that the solar wind comes in 2 types, fast and slow. We've identified the source of the solar wind, but the secrets behind the solar wind continue to evade us. This is where Parker Solar Probe comes in. Its measurements of the solar wind, just a few million miles from the Sun's surface, will help us understand the processes that hurtle all those particles and radiation out into space in the form of solar winds. The probe will also help us understand the problem of coronal heating. The Sun's corona, which Parker Solar Probe will enter, can reach temperatures as high as 2 million degrees Fahrenheit, whereas the Sun's surface hovers around a comparatively mild 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason for this heat discrepancy is one of the greatest mysteries of astrophysics. Parker Solar Probe will also shed light on near-light-speed particles. These particles can accelerate away from the Sun at speeds upwards of 90,000 miles per second. They've also been known to interfere with electronics on board satellites with little warning. Parker Solar Probe is scheduled to swing past Venus 7 times in total. This might seem odd, as the destination on the tin says the Sun. But this gravity assist maneuver is crucial in getting its eventual orbit closer to the Sun. Unlike most slingshot maneuvers, the Parker Solar Probe will actually slow down, giving some orbital energy to Venus, so that it can approach the Sun even more. The 7th and last of these flybys will occur on November 6, 2024, after which the probe will hurtle towards the Sun for its final orbit. At its closest point to the Sun, the Parker Solar Probe will also break the record for the fastest spacecraft in history, a cool 430,000 miles per hour. That's a speed so fast, you could travel from New York to Tokyo in under a minute.